Hello and welcome and happy Halloween. Okay, so got something special for you guys today. So if you've seen my other video on a voxel game, that one I've completely abandoned, basically. But I started another voxel project, another Minecraft clone, and that one was going really well, and then I also gave up on that one. Logical reason for that. I'm working on a Vulkan renderer. The latest version of Vulkan is a lot different from the version that I was using for that project, so just made sense to like get the renderer all done before I make any more work on that. But basically I had this idea floating around my head for quite a while, which is like mixing marching cubes with cubic voxels. So basically that's what 7 Days to Die does. It's a zombie game. It's basically Minecraft for adults, for edgy teens as well. Well, basically I was just kind of experimenting with that in Godot and figured out a way to do it, and then just kept coding it. And turns out you can make a voxel game in Godot, and it's more than fast enough to do it. So that's the project we're going to be talking about today. I'm calling it Necromyth. It's a zombie survival game. And I mean, I could rant on about it, but why don't we just go ahead and take a little peek at my progress so far. So we can see here my eureka moment of like figuring out how to mix marching cubes with voxels. Now basically all I did was I take the marching cubes and I offset them by 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And then I treat, when I'm building the mesh for the marching cubes, I treat the cubic voxels as if they are empty voxels, basically. And with a little bit more magic, I can actually cull a lot of the faces in the marching cubes part of it, but unfortunately I was not able to figure out a very efficient way of culling the faces of cubic voxels next to it. But that doesn't matter because most of them are going to be marching cubes anyways. There's going to be a few buildings here and there. Here we can see me covering up those corners, those few edge cases you may have noticed in the last slide. And adding textures into it. I've since enhanced the textures quite a bit. They're now like 256 by 256. Here we have the very beginnings of caves. Now these have changed quite a bit. They've flattened. I kind of squished them on the y-axis since this. But basically, it's a funny little noise algorithm that Godot lets you use. It's just simplex noise, but it's basically like the fractal type is like ridged or something. I forget what it is, but basically it means that you have these like tunnels that never end. Like there's never dead ends. There's just tunnels and tunnels and tunnels. Okay, and here we're about to go down the LOD rabbit hole, which really is more like a wormhole because I spent a lot of time on this and it basically scrapped it all. And the reason for that, and you can see there I'm like doing it, and that now I have the borders between them. And the idea behind it is sound, like, but the thing about, like, and I've always known this even before I was messing around with this, voxel games, because I've been making voxel games for years now, they're CPU intensive. Like that's your bottleneck, is the CPU. Your GPU, most modern GPU, at least mine, because mine's pretty beefy, most GPUs can handle the vertices and the polygons just fine. You don't need to worry about greedy meshing. You don't need to do any of that, because it's the CPU side of things that's the bottleneck. Now, there are sort of caveats to that, but basically we can see here, like, it's the seams between the LODs, they're just not very attractive. They just, I mean, look how ugly that is. But I did later figure out better ways of sort of meshing the LOD levels together. But we can see I've got them different colors so you can really visualize them. But basically when you're doing it this way, when you have this many LOD levels, it's like every single mesh basically needs to be updated, like every frame when you're moving around, when you're a player moving around. And you can see here, well, I mean, we can't really see it, but right now I'm still using 32 by 32 by 32 chunks. I've since switched to 16 by 16 by 16, so it would be even worse with the 16 by 16 by 16. But and this is one of the things that I did keep from this whole charade, is the way I do LODs for buildings. And basically the way that, and when I say buildings, really I'm just talking about any structure that's with cubic voxels, basically. And the way I'm doing that is like I sort of simplify it where I just make a big box, sort of figure out what the bounding box, this like axis aligned bounding box is of the structure, and then just make a big cube out of it so that the whole building is basically just one big cube, just 6 faces instead of like hundreds or thousands of faces from the voxels. We can see here now updating it dynamically so that detail is closest to the player. Also kind of experimenting with voxel lighting. Didn't really like the way it looked. I liked some aspects of it. I was kind of able to figure out vertex based ambient occlusion, but there was other things that looked striped on like hillsides of the marching cubes. So I've since figured out a better way to do it. Here we're doing, and then this is also kind of another thing that still got taken, that I didn't completely scrap. But basically you've got the voxel LOD levels, and then beyond that you've got a height map. So it's an even simpler version of the LOD, and basically it's just right? But basically here I'm just figuring out or a texture array, and it's much better to use a texture array because they don't have weird bleeding of textures into other voxels from the thing, or have to do weird, it's just much, like literally vastly simpler to just use a texture array. So we're figuring that out here, and basically this is not the final way I'm doing it. It turns out it's actually really hard to figure out, given a vertex of a marching cube, what is the texture of it, what should that be. It's kind of hard to figure that out. I did figure it out later, but or at least figure it out pretty. First iteration of trees, we can see this is me still using voxel based trees. So they're like Minecraft. Like if you were to cut the tree down at the base, the whole rest of the tree would just be floating, right? Unless you did some physics or something. But then it gets complicated if two trees are like connected to each other. Like how do you figure out which one falls? Does it still just float there because there's like other trees it's touching and it's connected to? And then also it's a lot more polygons this way. It's a lot more voxel data. It's a lot more memory because I'm using a palette packing system where the voxels are packed into a palette. So the more voxels there are, the more different kinds of voxels, the more memory it takes up. So they take up more memory as well. Early work on the water. I've since changed it. I've optimized it considerably. But this is the lighting system. Early work on it. You can see it gets darker in there. Now we have a shadow map, which Minecraft doesn't have. Obviously 7 Days to Die has that, but 7 Days to Die doesn't have the voxel lighting too. So you get the best of both worlds where, and this is the one thing I like about the voxel trees, is that they work really well with the voxel lighting. You get into areas where the trees are really dense, It gets darker. I really like that. And in case you still have no idea what I'm talking about, and you're taking all this lighting stuff for granted, the shadow map is just a matter of like, is it in the light or is it not in the light? It's digital. It's on or off. So with the voxel lighting, it's more like analog. Like you have like a range of dark to light. So you just get a little bit more natural lighting. And so this is me sort of melding those two together better. You can have spotlights, you can have flashlights. The directional light sort of cancels out really dark voxel lighting. Also, the caves are now pitch black, which is something I wanted to do. I wanted the caves to be pitch black, which is actually kind of hard to do and not have the shadows be pitch black. Also have fog, but not have that in the caves. So the darkness or the fog itself really is sort of multiplied by the light. So if it's pitch black, you don't see any fog. The water looks super weird. Or it might, I don't know if in the final render it'll look weird, but it's using alpha coverage, which is just a more efficient way of rendering the water, and there's no sorting or blending. More efficient way of rendering transparency in general. And basically, you can turn your multi-sample anti-aliasing on really high, like 4 or 8 samples, and get rid of that completely, the weirdness of it. So yeah, or turn it off and then have like way more efficient rendering. This is that early work on that water propagation system. Since doing all the water propagation stuff, I've decided like I don't think I'm even gonna do it, because like you can see the way it's working now. It's like you have a source block and that emits non-source water blocks, basically. It's a Minecraft thing, and that's cool. That's what you need for like waterfalls in a voxel game, unless you have some sort of crazy system of like aquifer springs shooting the water up to the top of the mountain, glaciers melting, whatever. It'd be much harder to do. So but I'm like, by doing all of this work, and it's really CPU intensive. There's other things I want to save the CPU power for than just making waterfalls. So at the end of the day, it's a zombie game. Like how often you're going to be like playing with water like you do in Minecraft. So if there will be water physics, but they'll just pour. Like they won't infinitely create a waterfall. Like if you lay a water source block down, it's just going to fall until it finds a resting place. Basically, I hope that makes sense. Early work on trees, you can see that it's using the single voxels now, so it takes up less memory, takes up less polygons, it's more efficient in general. And here, what we're really testing here, this is the first you can see of the trees, the new ones anyway, but we're also testing block lights. So there's 2 sets of lights. There's sunlight, and then there is block lights. So block lights are like lights that are emitted from blocks themselves. And so in the shader, when it's nighttime, as we're sort of simulating here with it fading from dark to black or dark to full day, we cancel out all of the sunlight but keep the block light, so that the block lights can emit light during the night, and what have you. So here we have very early work on the collision system, and this is really just for the player. The zombies can use the voxel data themselves for pathfinding and sort of the basic version of physics, whereas the player, it's nice to let the player be able to have a little bit more advanced physics. So we can see here the green are a visualization of the colliders that are being generated, and they're just being generated in the 8 chunks surrounding the player, basically. So there's only 8 chunks at a time that will have a collider on them, so it's really efficient, and it just works really well. Early work on grass. Sorry for the quality. I don't know why when I moved some of the videos over from my Linux computer to my Windows, because I don't know, I just like video editing in Windows better. Some of the videos didn't come over very well. Like the compressed ones did fine, but the non-compressed ones didn't. So whatever, this is the compressed video, but basically the grass, it took me forever in Blender to figure it out. It's using a hair particle system and using like just insane, like it looks like a conspiracy theory board, crazy guy's thing of nodes used to push them away from the center and give them different colors and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm still not happy with them. I'm definitely gonna redo them, but they're a good placeholder for now. And here, finally, we have a player controller, so I can walk around the world as a player would, and experience the world as a player would, and walk around. So it ended up working really well, and I'm just really happy with it. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that. But anyway, as the video is wrapping up, no, I do not have a Steam page for this. I'm still debating or deliberating in my head of whether or not I even want to put it on Steam. And I probably will end up doing that. It's probably the smart thing to do. I just don't like the idea of Steam taking all my money. And I really feel like when I buy a game, it's not because Steam advertised it to me. It's because I saw a YouTube video about it and I was like, that looks cool, and I go and I buy it. So what's the point of having it on Steam if YouTube is doing all of my advertising for me? I can just make a YouTube video like this and then make a website for it. No, I have not made the website for it yet either. But basically what I'm saying is, if you want to play this game at some point when it's done, which it will be, I've really felt motivated to continue developing this game. A lot of other games I give up halfway and I'm like, oh, this game, it's not as fun as I thought it would be. This one has consistently kept me excited and motivated to come back. I don't know what it is, but I'm just so motivated to get this game done. Basically your best chance to play it is to subscribe to this YouTube channel and potentially turn on the bell for notifications, because I might make a video like once a month at the most, so you're not going to be inundated with notifications. Trust me. Don't you worry about that. But basically, yeah, that's the project I'm working on right now. It's been about it's like 3 months of work. I have 2 jobs. I'm going to school, so it's been kind of tough. But like I said, I'm insanely motivated to get it done. I often work on this when I should be doing other things. But yeah, anyway, this is Necromyth. My name is Tristan, and thanks for watching.